Guys, it's finally time. We got a studio. We got the crew here.
We're for real.
We're for real now. We look so fancy. Samuel's in outer space. That's okay. But we're
I've
the
been
career.
banished to outer darkness.
Hey, it's okay. That's your punishment as a Mavs fan, or maybe not punishment. I don't know. That's just what happens when you're a Mavs fan. But hey,
I'm I,
we're here.
I
We're ready
I've
to
been
go.
disowned, so that's okay.
That's
Happens.
okay. That's okay. We're the career backups, and we're
Yeah.
excited to talk about the NBA, talk about the NFL. We're missing one. Chris is not here right now, but you guys will see him soon.
He won't be joining for us for NBA ones, right?
Yeah, he hates the NBA, which
So,
is weird. But he
just
did.
us.
He's just
He's a big NFL
anti-basketball
guy.
in general.
Yeah,
Couldn't be me.
it's sad, but we're the real ones here because we love basketball,
Yeah.
and we're excited to get into the NBA trade deadline. But before we do that, I think we should have a little introduction, and I have a question, an icebreaker question, I guess, with the introduction. So your name, obviously, so people know you, they know the face, but also if you could play any professional sport, what would it be and why? And I can start since you guys need to think about it. I'll start.
Okay.
I'm Ethan Jones. I don't know. I just gave my last name. I could be cooked because of that. But
It could be good.
the professional sport I'd play is definitely professional golf.
Okay.
I'm a big golfer,
Yeah, I was thinking about that
but
one.
also there's so much cool traveling opportunities. If I join the LIV tour, I'm getting paid like $400 million to play golf. I get to travel to Saudi Arabia, get to travel to England, get to travel to, I don't even know where they all go.
I have a question. If I pick a sport, do I then have to get in shape for that sport?
Yes. But like, let's assume
Or am I
you
just
are,
like transition to being that skillful at that sport?
yeah, I guess you got to transition because like, let's be honest, I'm not getting good
We're not
enough for
getting there.
golf.
Okay. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
you transition to whatever the body type, the skill type you want to be.
Okay. Okay, I think I would go with soccer.
What? That was the least
Yeah,
expected
that was what I
one.
was gonna say.
Well, I think they get paid the most.
Oh, so you're just doing it for the money, not the love of the game?
Well, okay, if I was doing it for the love of the game, I would pick football.
Okay.
But they die. So
That's true.
like they literally get CTE. So soccer
Okay.
or basketball.
Okay.
maybe.
I mean, soccer is fun when you're good at it. I like soccer a lot.
International superstar.
Yeah. Hey, you'd be basically Messi, Ronaldo, something like that.
Yeah.
Samuel?
No, I was going the same route as soccer. Because like the travel is insane of just being able to like go like because it's just literally a worldwide sport going everywhere for it.
Yeah.
But also the money is very nice. So and I was on the same page. I would put actually probably basketball like for love of the sport,
Yeah.
but my knees aren't like good enough.
Well,
And
so
so
your
I'm
knees are
just,
Well, you
transformed.
transition.
Yeah. You're
oh,
you're
my knees are
transformed.
transformed.
So you transition to a 6'8" demigod.
Yeah.
Dude.
You're basically Zion, but if you like cared about basketball, that's who
It's
you are.
Zion if you didn't weigh 290 right now.
Yeah.
Zion has the care of basketball that Chris does. So
Yeah. That's kind of true, which is
He loves
wild.
gumbo more than basketball.
Is Chris or
No,
or
no.
Zion?
both of them.
Or
Zion,
Zion?
Zion.
Okay, but both of them probably, in all honesty.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I love gumbo.
Okay, we ready to talk about the deadline? You guys ready?
Yeah. So NBA deadline. So we're talking Friday. This is 9:30 p.m. So
Yeah.
the buyouts have started.
Yeah, but we're not going to
For-
discuss buyouts. Okay, maybe a little bit. He wants to discuss
I'm
buyouts. I'm good with that.
But yeah. So let's just go through. I don't know. Let's just talk about however many week trades we can talk about in the next hour.
Yeah, just talk about the biggest impact trades. Like this was probably the craziest trade deadline in history, low key.
Yeah.
So many stars traded. I think we just go down and grade the significant ones until we run out of things to say.
Let's
I
do
think
it.
that's what we go with. So let's first start with. I'm sorry we had to do this,
Blockbuster.
Samuel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry we had to do this. Samuel, the Mavs fan, may be sad. But let's go for the Luka trade. So the Lakers landed Luka in a 3-team deal. I don't care what the Jazz got, but the Lakers got Luka Dončić. That's how you say his last name, hopefully. Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris, and then the Mavs got Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and then a 2029 first-round pick.
Unprotected.
Unprotected.
Jalen Hood-Schifino goes to Jazz, and then 2 second.
Yeah,
round
he's going to
picks.
get bought out, apparently.
Now, one of those seconds came from the Mavs.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I want to hear Samuel's thoughts first. I think Samuel, as the Mavs fan, he deserves to speak first.
I think the first insane thing is just like you never trade that caliber of player.
Mhm.
It's basically unprecedented if the player has never asked for getting out of the team for them to be traded like that in the first place. I think it's insane how they kept it so quiet because it came out of genuinely nowhere.
Yeah.
And just it was also alarming how much of a cultural thing it was. Like just taking a step out of basketball for a second. It was insane how cultural it was of like I have people that hate basketball that were texting me at like 2 a.m. Like what is
Yeah, it was
happening?
wild.
Like it was literally worldwide. Like what did the Mavericks just do?
Chris even was mad about it. Like
Yeah.
that means something.
Chris.
But
yeah,
the trading for Anthony Davis, who is aging, who also has his own health concerns. Like, yeah, they've been better over this recent span, but like he has his own health concerns, and then trading Luka because you're concerned about his health and you don't want to pay him for an aging Anthony Davis is just ludicrous. I don't know how Nico saw his job.
I don't think they traded him because they were afraid about pay, like it was too much money. Well,
Yeah.
I think they didn't like him. I think there was two. I think one, they obviously hated the dude. Okay, because he lost over $100 million. Okay, so the super max, which he had already qualified for, was 5 for 345. Okay, so that's a lot of money if you do the math on that. That's like 70 million a year. On out like ish a little under that. Now it's like 4 for 240 or 280.
Yeah.
And so it's not 280, it's 240.
It's something low. I think it's 240. I'm pretty sure. Maybe 250.
So he lost like $100 million on this thing. And then like I listen to Bill Simmons a lot, and he's been talking about how they think he's the next Embiid. And I'm like, I don't know about that one.
You don't even trade Embiid like that.
No.
For one thing.
Well, like Luka's played for what, 5 years? Is that right? No.
He's
no, it's
6. No, maybe 5.
Seven.
Oh,
I think this is year 7.
He's made 5 All NBA teams, I think.
Yeah, he's made 5 All NBA teams.
That's what I'm thinking.
He has more All NBA teams than Nikola Jokic does.
And Steph Curry.
Yeah.
This is a crazy stat. Only 5 current players have made 5 or more NBA All-Star team or All NBA team.
Do you know who they are, Samuel, or should we play?
I don't.
I know who they are. Okay. Do you guys want to?
Yeah, let's play. Samuel, you want to go first?
You have Luka.
There's 5 and one's Luka. There's only 4 others active who've made 5 All NBA teams in their career.
Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
So are we taking? I'm going to take the layup with Luka.
Luka, we got Luka. Someone else.
Okay.
Pick somebody else.
LeBron has.
Yeah, LeBron's one. Yeah.
I'm gonna go KD.
KD's one.
Okay.
Has Giannis hit that number?
Giannis is one. The 5th one I forgot, but I'm pretty sure it's Giannis. And I know the other one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go Giannis, and then I'll have to fact check myself in just a second.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Wait, does that count as his guess?
Yeah, and we're gonna say Giannis is a yes.
I'm gonna go Harden.
It is Harden. So those are the 5. Okay. So it's a 25-year-old, and then a bunch of Giannis is maybe early 30s, and then a bunch of guys in their late 30s.
Yeah.
This guy's only 25 years old. Curry didn't even do it. Dame hasn't done it. All these people haven't done it.
I think Curry has 4.
Yeah, Curry has 4. And so like it's just unprecedented. Like what are you doing? Like it doesn't make any sense. And like one of the main reasons they said was like because of conditioning.
Yeah.
But I have some stats that are like that's just like absurd. Like he's played over 60 regular season games every season, so that's really good. He played 92 games last season. And then one of the biggest worries is conditioning is like in the playoffs, you're not going to be as good. You're not going to be available. That's always the worry about conditioning. It's not the regular season. It's about what are you going to be in the playoffs. His playoff career, he's averaged 30.9 points per game, 9.4 rebounds, and 8 assists, nearly a 30-point triple-double. So in the playoffs, not only is he the same, he's even better. So the conditioning claim is just completely illogical. It doesn't even make sense.
Well, yes and no. He's played a lot of games hurt.
Yeah, but he's dropping 30 hurt. So he's still really good.
Yes. But like going into the playoffs last year, he had a calf injury.
Yeah.
And he had it through the whole playoffs.
But he carried his team to the playoffs with a calf injury. That's the thing.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying you're wrong.
Overweight Luka is the
and like
second
if you
want to
trade him, you trade him right when he gets injured. You don't wait for a week before he comes back to trade him.
Yeah.
Like it's like one thing. Like if you're concerned about condition, concerned about his health, you trade him when he gets injured. I know, but
you don't trade him without shopping him.
Yeah, that's the
you don't
biggest
trade him in
thing.
general.
No.
The most absurd thing is that they said we're just gonna only go to the Lakers. Like if you put out like Luka to the whole league, you're getting packages with 5 first-round picks,
I think you would
an
get more.
all-star, maybe
Mhm.
even 2 all-stars, and that's the package. Maybe not 2 all-stars, but all-star 5 first-round picks,
Yeah.
which is
Which
What would be
there
the
was
Houston Rockets offer?
there's a chance Houston Rockets would offer Amin Thompson. And
But
like
like,
that's big time. And then
is it
also
like Amen, Fred Van Fleet,
in a bunch of picks.
and like 6 first-round picks,
It would be something
including
similar to
the
that.
Suns picks?
Yeah, I think it would be.
And like, what would the Spurs deal have been?
The Spurs deal would have been
If Vassell,
Hassel, Keldon Johnson, and a bunch of picks. Like it would have been like because imagine you had Luka and
Yeah.
Wemby, they would have gave everything. Like a bunch of teams would give everything for this guy,
ugh,
and then
it's
you
so
only go to the
brutal.
Lakers.
It's
Like,
so brutal.
yeah.
what are you
Which
doing?
wasn't there a report early in the week that they went to the Bucks and they wanted Giannis and they just said no?
Maybe I don't know. I think they only went to the Lakers.
I heard
but
there was a report that like 2 weeks before the trade went down, they went to the Bucks.
I
and
think no
they
one
had
else
said,
knew,
"I
but you
want
may be
Giannis."
right.
That's
I
what
can't
I
remember
heard,
honestly.
but I also heard the reports of like they went to no one else.
Yeah,
I heard
well,
like they
if
went
they only
one
went to
team
the
and then they
Bucks,
went to no one.
that's still embarrassing. They
Yeah.
only went to 2 teams. It doesn't make it too much better.
Yeah.
I think another thing that's also like Nico Harrison needs to get drug tested or fired or I don't know. The ambulance that was coming out like behind Samuel earlier, I think they were coming for Nico Harrison, honestly.
Yeah,
But like
they're driving
one
up
of
to
the
Dallas right now.
Yeah.
They need help up there.
one of the other reasons that they traded Luka was because of defense. They said he said defense wins championships, which yes, I'm a big defensive guy. Like I think you got to have good defense to win a championship. But you know what you got to have even more important than a big defense is like an all-world scorer, an all-world offensive player. Like let's talk about the Celtics. They had Jason Tatum, the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, the Warriors, Steph Curry, the Bucks, Giannis, the Lakers, LeBron. So the past 5 champions and champions for history past have always had that all-world player. And
Well-
there's no champions that win without it. Like there's
Yeah.
historically that's not a thing.
Mhm.
Like, and then the defensive rating for these champions: Celtics 3rd, Nuggets 16th, Warriors 1st, Bucks 10th, Lakers 3rd. So yes, you got to have a good defense, but you can have an average defense as long as you have an all-world player. So it's all about pairing a good defense with an all-world player, and the Mavericks got rid of that.
Yeah.
They got rid of their path to a championship.
Well, I think even more than like having a supernatural scorer, because I think Anthony Davis and Kyrie are like really high level scorers.
Yeah.
Even now, they lost the ability to create for others.
Yeah, maybe that's a better way to put it. Like a supernatural, just offensive player in
Well,
general, and like creator.
Yeah, yeah. Like think about, so you're on your list, like I don't know,
Let's go LeBron, 2020.
LeBron, insane creator,
Yeah,
like mastermind on the offensive end. You got Nikola Jokic. I mean, probably a top. I mean, this might be controversial, but I think he could easily go down as a top 10 player of all time.
yeah. I don't think there was a doubt about
especially
that.
if he wins another MVP. Giannis creates. He's not a great passer, but he draws people in because
Yeah.
of his driving. Steph Curry, same way. Nobody has more gravity than Steph Curry. So
Yeah.
whenever, like, by gravity, I mean like people are pulled towards him whenever he's, on the 3-point line and he's just running around doing crazy stuff. Like all of those guys bring something that AD and Kyrie don't. So I don't know that it's necessarily that they lost a great score.
Yeah,
But AD's also a great scorer. They lost like playmaking.
yeah. Maybe that's how I should put it. Just like a great like top 10 player.
Yeah.
Maybe that our top 5 player even. Like all those lists were all top 5 players in their time.
Where do we think Anthony Davis is?
I think
Because I think he might still be top 10.
I think he's a top 10, but
Are
he's
y'all
not a
still there?
top.
I cannot hear y'all.
We are still there. We have lost Samuel in the Mavericks world. While we're waiting for Samuel, we'll just keep going.
All right, let's keep going.
But I think Anthony Davis is a top 10 player, but he's not the type of top 10 player to be the best on a championship team, unless it's like perfectly fit around him,
Yeah.
because he's not that like creator. I think the point you made was really good, that they could have that scoring and great creating, like where they draw people in kind of thing. They draw defenders in. And Anthony Davis
Yeah.
isn't that guy.
Yeah, yeah. And we talked about Giannis not even being a great passer, but he brings people in.
Hmm.
AD can bring people in and he'll make a pass when he has to. That's not what he's looking for. Um, Also another thing
Samuel's
that they
back. Let's
lost
go.
is he back?
Yeah, he's back.
Okay, cool. I cannot hear him.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll keep vibing.
All
We'll
right,
keep working.
so but they built this team around Luka. Like this is a team built for who Luka is.
Hmm.
And they lost that because
Yeah.
there's no Luka now. And so it's a weird fit. I thought if they would have gotten Austin Reeves, I would have liked it a lot more.
I don't think there's anything that could have made me like it, in all honesty.
Well, but at least if you got Austin Reeves, he's a ball handler and a playmaker, like a secondary one to Kyrie. So
But still, like, there's nothing that rationalized trading Luka away.
no, absolutely not. Absolutely
And
not.
like you said, this team was perfectly fit around him.
Yeah.
It was perfectly fit. Like, once again, the defense wins championships. They had a top 10 defense after the trade deadline. They
Hmm.
put a perfect roster around Luka where he had a chance to win a championship. And they just gave it all away. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Nico Harrison like a secret Lakers fan? That's my thoughts. But I think another thing we need to talk about, yes, the trade is awful. I think my grade is definitely A plus for the Lakers, F for the Mavs. I don't think you guys have any different opinions, right?
I think I would do D plus for the Mavs.
Okay, we're back. We were in Maverick hell for a bit. Samuel got pulled in there. Then all of a sudden we got pulled in there. So we had technical difficulties. I had an outfit change. Don't worry about that. But we're back.
It
We're
was
ready.
a confusing like 10 or so minutes of just like not knowing what was happening.
Yeah.
But we're figuring things out.
So
It's good.
we're here. We're grading the trade.
You're at you just
Jones said F.
yeah for the Mavericks and you said D and I was like, what do you
I
think?
said D. I'm gonna go D minus actually. So right above an F. I like Anthony Davis. Um, I think that they're still a really good team. I just don't know that this actually made them better. I think it made them worse. But I still think that they're really good.
Yeah, I see. I don't think there's a world where you can give it better than an F. Like this is just like you traded away your
Just because the
superstar.
fact you didn't burn down everything, like the fact that you didn't burn down the entire city doesn't mean it was a good decision.
Yeah.
Like in
Yeah.
any retrospect.
Oh, I'm not saying it's a good decision.
But where's the D coming from? Like,
I'm saying you're still good though.
yeah, but it's your championship window
So
went
you're
from
just saying
10
it
years
could be
to 2
worse.
years.
Yeah, it could have definitely been worse.
But I don't know if it could have been worse. Like
Okay, what are you
logical,
saying if
What,
it's
like,
Bradley
are you saying
Beal?
if they
well, we're talking about logic here. I mean, this trade was already illogical, but like, yeah, I'm fine with D. It's terrible. Samuel,
Actually, you know what? I'll go with F.
Hey.
will go with F.
what's your grade, Samuel?
we're expelling the Mavericks from the school. Like there's
Okay.
not they don't get into grade on this assignment. They're just gone. They're being sent back to kindergarten. They are a G League team now.
Yeah, they should be eliminated. I think
Yes.
before we move on to the next trade, we've talked about how bad of a trade this is, but I think we should talk about how it looks on the court.
Yeah, fit.
This
Yeah.
season, how does it fit in the future? Let's talk about the Mavs. How does this team fit? Are they a championship contender? Like, what's your thoughts on this team?
Who you want to start off?
Yeah, Samuel got
Our
it.
resident.
Yeah, he's the Mavs guy. He needs to talk about
Mavs
it.
guy.
I think that did everything freeze. Hello.
Well, so
You're here.
Samuel, you're still here?
Hello?
You're still here.
What just
Okay, he's
happened?
dead. Okay, so we're now going to you, Parrish.
Okay. So Mavs first. So your starters are probably what? Kyrie, Clay, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis, and then Gafford,
Yeah.
right? So clunky fit. I don't love that PJ's getting moved up to the 3. Preferred him as a 4.
Yeah, they did trade for Quentin Grimes, so he may play the 3.
No,
Low-key.
they traded away.
Oh,
Grimes.
oh my! You're right. They made my bad. They made another terrible trade. Sorry. Keep talking. Keep
Yeah,
talking.
they traded away Quentin Grimes, who I thought could help with some playmaking potentially.
Yeah.
Obviously, no longer the case. Yeah, I mean, it fits on paper. You have a playmaking guard with a really good big. I still think Anthony Davis's best position's the five. I think
But
it's
he hates the
always
five. He hates the
he hates
five.
it, but he's always been better at the five.
Yeah.
He's always been better at the five, and I don't get it, especially in the modern NBA. I think he fits better. I think the reason he likes it is because the defensive matchups are easier at the four.
Hmm.
Because think about, there's not that many fours who can actually defend Anthony Davis in a game like Giannis.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, maybe a few others here or there, but yeah, it's hard.
Mobley,
Yeah, Mobley probably can. There's a few like rangy bigs that could put some defense on
maybe
him.
Paulo.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. What do you think?
I see. I like in theory the fit's really good, but they're still missing some scoring, some playmaking, and I think in the playoffs they're gonna struggle to score. Like their defense is gonna be great. Like that's just like that's how it's gonna be. I mean, they trade for defense, so their defense is probably gonna be one of the top
Yeah,
in the league. But in the playoffs, like you just like the defenses are always better in the playoffs, and they're gonna focus on shutting down Kyrie. And when Kyrie can't be playmaking as much, and he's kind of inconsistent in his old age, like one game he's great, one game
yeah,
he's not so great.
yeah. And Anthony Davis has those games too.
Yeah, and I think Anthony Davis may not be healthy, Kyrie may not be healthy,
Yeah,
Clay may not be healthy. I just think in the playoffs they're gonna struggle to score. So I think their peak is really a second round exit,
yeah.
and
Oh,
I'm
that's their peak.
probably gonna say they're gonna be a first round exit team.
Okay, okay. See, I think they could be a comp. Like I don't see them beating OKC or anything like that, but I could see them making the conference finals.
In the West, I don't know. I mean, I guess the West is kind of a little topsy turvy, but they just can't beat the Thunder, they can't beat the Celtics, and they can't beat the Cavs. Like I don't think in any world they
Yeah,
can,
I don't think
and
they're a
that's the
finals
problem.
team.
And if they face the Lakers, I'm picking the Lakers.
Yeah,
Like I just think they've like with Luka, they were a fringy when they're all healthy finals pick. Like I could see them winning the NBA finals. And now the
hmm,
best maybe conference finals, but no way they make it to the finals.
yeah. So I guess we're without Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel's gone. The Maverick depression has taken over
They took
him.
him out.
Hopefully next episode we'll figure that all out. But we're running duos. Ethan Square
Let's
now.
go, Ethan Squared. Uh,
Lakers.
I think another thing for the Mavs is they lost shooting, like a lot of shooting on this still.
Yeah.
Like basically, it's the same starting lineup, but just switch Luka for AD. And so the shooting is gone, creation gone. I don't love the trade.
Yeah, it's on the court, like it doesn't make you any better than you were before. Like it didn't
Mm.
upgrade your team.
It didn't upgrade it.
And maybe it's the same level, but we when you make a trade like that, when you're
Yeah.
making your window go from 10 years to 2 years, that 2 years you better be dang good.
Yeah.
And they just didn't get to that level.
Well, okay, let's say in a theoretical series with Boston,
Yeah.
who guards Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum?
Yeah.
You can't guard both of
You
those.
don't PJ Washington, but he's maybe like and then Clay has to guard one of them. Like
Oh yeah, you want Clay guarding that?
but he has to.
Okay, but
That's the
then
scariest thing.
what about White and Holiday?
Yeah, Kyrie's guarding one of like see, that's the thing. Against the top teams, their defense will be like interior defense with Gafford, Lively, and Davis, like they'll be locked down in the
Yeah,
inside.
yeah, yeah.
But perimeter,
playoff-
they're getting cooked,
Yeah.
and their offense is not good enough against the Celtics defense.
Well, okay, think about the teams who are your finals picks. All of them are great perimeter teams.
Yeah.
Maybe with the exception of the Cavs.
Even Cavs are a great perimeter team
well,
with
I mean, yeah,
Mitchell
but,
and Garland.
well, yeah, but they're not to like the level of say like Boston
Yeah.
or OKC or some of these other ones.
Yeah, they just by bringing in Anthony Davis, they filled a hole that they didn't need to fill, and then made a giant hole in the
Uh,
terms of playmaking and scoring.
well, now they have to find playing time for three centers.
Bro, I don't know what they were doing. It's so
Yeah.
stupid.
Well-
We should move on from them because we're
Yeah.
gonna lose our minds. I say we talk about the Lakers real quick.
Let's do it.
The fit. Do you think they get better this year? What do you think about the Lakers?
I don't know that they got better. I think they got worse defensively for
Well,
sure.
yeah, their defense is gonna be a little sketchy.
Yeah, because they already had one of the worst perimeter defenses in the league.
Yeah.
Now, LeBron's 39.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already struggling with effort, energy on the defensive end.
Yeah, his defense is not
Even
great.
the offense, like it's not in every every play
Yeah.
situation. So I'm a little worried about that. Luka, not a great defender.
No.
Austin Reeves, like, does he start or does he come off the? I think he comes off the bench.
Yeah, let's think starting lineup. So we got oh, this is weird. So we got Luka, right?
You got
Luka and
Luka.
LeBron are definitely there. Mark Williams, now who they trade for, is gonna be there. Oh, Rui's gonna be there.
Rui's gonna be there.
Is it Austin Reeves?
I don't think he
Well,
can be Austin Reeves.
oh wait, it's gonna be Dorian Finney-Smith. They need
Is
that
it?
perimeter defense, right? Like that's what I would do. So you put Luka, LeBron, Rui,
Yeah, I
Dorian
guess.
Finney-Smith,
It's a really big lineup.
and Mark Williams, which is okay.
Yeah.
Like because you have two really great point guards in
How tall is
LeBron and
Finney-Smith?
Luka. He's probably like 6'7". Let me look.
Yeah, so all 6'7" and above.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Then
Let's see what
off
this
the
guy-
bench, you got
He's 6'7". Yeah. Oh no, Luka's 6'6". That's what it says on here.
well,
That's-
2K says 6'7".
2K, I thought he was 6'8". Bronny obviously is 6 man.
Bronny.
Their depth is not very good anymore.
So then you have Austin, and who else is on the bench?
Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, backup center minutes. That's kind of what it is.
Well, this Lakers team is not finished. I think you make this trade not trying to win it this year.
Yeah.
This is obviously like a long-term thing. I think the trade for Mark Williams, like, it helps this year, but
It's a more future thing because he's still a project.
He's
He's still
still young.
unhealthy a lot of times.
you know, I saw a stat. He's only played like
80 games in 3
Yeah.
years is something around there.
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we don't even really know what he is playing for the Hornets. Like, he doesn't really get.
Can we talk about how Hornets have like a bunch of sneaky good players? Like Malik Monk on the Hornets was just like lost. Comes to the Kings. Now he's great. PJ Washington on the Hornets kind of just lost in the sauce or whatever's happening there. Comes to the Mavericks. Great. Maybe Mark Williams is that guy too.
Mark Williams, Nick Richards.
Yeah. Well, Nick Richards hasn't been incredible. Well, okay.
He's starting for the Suns.
Well, that's not a hard thing
Yeah,
to do.
true.
It's not an accomplishment necessarily.
But I mean, LaMelo, Bridges.
I really want to see LaMelo on a different team. Like everyone on the Hornets. Like I think the Hornets
don't
should trade
think
him away anyway.
I don't think he's a winner.
Well, how can you say that?
Brandon Miller.
He's on the Hornets. Like there's no judge if someone's a
I think
winner or
he
not.
might be part of the problem.
Do you see who they put around him?
You know, he's averaging like how many points is he averaging? Like 30?
30.
He didn't make an All-Star game.
Yeah, which I think was a crime.
The coaches hate him.
Yeah, okay. He plays like he has like one AirPod. And he's like wearing, like the pajama
Wearing
pants.
joggers while playing.
Yeah, pajama pants. He's wearing the slides, like the wife beater, one AirPod in. And he's just cooking. So he's lazy. He's lazy on defense. But we've seen a lot of stars be lazy on
He
defense.
shouldn't be. He's 6'8".
Oh, yeah, I agree. He's not playing to his potential, but I think if he's a really good second best player on a championship team. I think he could be that if he's in the right fit. I may be wrong about that.
Okay, Trey Young, LaMelo Ball.
Who's better? Trey. Not even close.
Okay, Trey, LaMelo Ball, or Fox for a fit with Wemby.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Trey Young. I think Trey Young's the best fit for Wemby.
Really?
Because I think Fox doesn't have quite enough shooting. Like I mean, I love Fox. He's a top 25 player, top 30 player in the NBA. He's amazing at getting downhill. He's amazing at scoring. He's just too inconsistent from three. I think when you have a player like Wemby, it's really good to have good shooters. And also, Trey Young's one of the best pick and roll players out there. Imagine Trey Young in a pick and roll with Wemby.
Well, okay.
Would be cinema.
Yeah, it would be. The thing I think about Trey Young is, like, I always thought of him as a really good shooter. He shoots like 32%.
Okay, no, this season he's been bad.
He shoots like 32. None of his. He's had like one good 3-point percentage season.
Let's go look.
And so, yeah. Anyways, that's a tangent.
Well, I mean, that brings us straight to the Spurs trade. So I'd say do you want to?
Well, I got a little bit.
You got more Laker thoughts. Okay.
I think this is a future thing. I think Mark Williams can be good. He's big, athletic, can score, rebound. If the ball's coming his way, he's gonna get it. But is this really the move you made? Like, I don't know if I would have given up the pick for Mark Richards.
Oh, okay, for Mark Williams.
Yeah, not Richards.
Yeah,
Mark Williams.
I thought you were talking about giving up the pick for Luka. It's like
no. I think like The Mavericks trade is like, I don't know. It's so bad. It was, I can't think of anything close.
Yeah.
Like, like I heard Bill Simmons and Ryan Russillo talking about the decision.
That's
Um, but it was completely different.
yeah.
Like, there's just nothing that
There's
compares.
one person that said, or I heard this. The Mavs trade was the most tragic thing to happen in Dallas since JFK was shot.
Okay, okay.
That may be true. It could be true.
Bill Simmons said that people were texting him and said it had the same feeling as when JFK got shot.
That's crazy.
And the fact that you remember where you were when
Did you
heard it.
see like they had like a whole funeral for the Mavs? There was like a bunch of Mavs fans that took a casket through Dallas, walked all the way to the stadium, and then was just protesting outside the stadium for like hours.
Well, it's bad when they start refunding season ticket holders.
Yeah, that means so many people asked for it.
And I can't believe a new ownership group would sign off on this. I cannot
I
cannot
think, see,
believe
the
that.
thing is, it went from Cuban, who I think was already a bad owner, to these guys who are all focused on business and on the money. And I bet Nico Harrison was like, hey, this guy could be a quote unquote Joel Embiid, and he's not going to give you the right money. I think he just hated him. But I think they convinced him on the money side. Like, you really want to give this guy 350 million, which is a lot of money when you think about it.
It is, but you pay him.
Well, yeah, I'm not trying to make their logic like their logic is not sound, but I think that's why those owners may have been convinced.
It's so bad. Yeah, it's so bad. Um, yeah, maybe an F minus,
Yeah.
actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But
That's good. Okay, I'm gonna say one more thing about the Lakers. And I think we move on to the Spurs trade.
yeah.
Lakers, I think they have I don't think they're win the championship, but I think they'll make some noise in the playoffs. They've won 8 of their last 10 without Luka, some of that without AD. Even though their defense is gonna be whack, that offense is gonna be fun to watch. I can see them making some upsets in the playoffs.
It's just the point of attack defense, man.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna be it's not gonna be pretty. I don't think they can win a championship, but I think they'll make some fun series with
Like-
LeBron and Luka.
Like I genuinely think OKC Lakers would be a fun series. But how do you even come close to stopping Shea?
You don't, but how did they come close to stopping Luka and LeBron?
But they have defenders.
But Luka's that, yeah. Yeah, I agree they're not gonna win that series, but I think they can make it fun.
yeah, I agree. All right, Fox's Spurs.
Yeah.
You have the trade.
Yeah, I'll do the details. Spurs received De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. That's how you say it.
Yeah.
Kings receive Zach LaVine, City Cisco, and 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks, and then the Bulls receive a first-round pick, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and Zach Collins.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through the picks real quick.
Yeah.
Because that is super important.
It is.
So it sounds like if you're just looking at it, that the Kings received 3 first-round picks, but in all actuality, the Hornets pick is lottery protected this year,
Yeah,
and if it doesn't convey, it turns into 2 second-round
it's just
picks.
gotta be 2 seconds.
So they got 5 seconds and 2 firsts. That's a Timberwolves 2031 first, which I think is a pretty good pick, and then or could be,
Yeah, we just don't know.
and then a late first, probably 2027 Spurs pick.
Yeah, it just really depends what happens with that team. But yeah, that one's not great high value right now.
Yeah, not great. Bulls receive, it says 2025 first round pick via the Spurs. That's actually the Bulls pick,
Yeah.
which is top 10 protected. So they get the protections removed, and they
Which was important because they
Yeah.
they didn't tank, but it gave them a chance to tank.
well, they would have done it either way
Yeah, that's true.
because they're not a playoff team.
Well, they were close to the play-in for a while, and
Yeah.
if they had Zach LaVine on that team, they would have made the play-in. I
but
think.
not now.
Anyway.
Okay, so the Spurs, I love it. I don't know that I like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would take Trey Young. Like I think there are very few guards I would take over De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah,
Embiid.
who are realistic, like you can realistically get. 'Cause,
No,
like,
no, no, I think just period.
wait. So you wouldn't take like Luka?
No, I just said very
Okay,
few.
very few, very
Very
few.
few.
Okay.
So like Luka, I'm taking Luka. I don't need these.
Yeah, you don't.
They're warm. So like yeah, I'm taking Luka.
hmm
But the thing about Fox is he's a really, really good defender.
Yeah.
Really good, really aggressive. Can defend point of attack. So you don't have to worry about guards blowing you up anymore. Even though Castle can take those.
Yeah.
This gives you another option. And then you have Wemby behind him to cover up any mistakes. Yeah, the three-point shooting's not great. What is he, 32,
It
33%?
has to be something low. I can check.
But he gets to the rim unlike most other players. Like he is probably the fastest player in the NBA.
Yeah, I would agree.
And so that gives you a totally different dynamic, especially with Wemby shooting. Like he's going to be able to do the pick and pop game a lot better. I just think it's a really, really, really good move. Surround him with shooters. I know that's not Castle yet, but you got Harrison Barnes. CP3 was in the starting lineup, and then Vassell. So I think it's a good lineup right now. Right now they're 12th in the West.
Yeah.
I think they could get in over the Suns, maybe.
Yeah, it'll be a close race, but I could see them getting in.
We'll just have to see. But this is a trade made for the future.
Yeah, I think this was a really good trade. Like you got a top 25 just player, a top 10 point guard. I don't know the exact ranking. So I really like De'Aaron Fox.
Top 20.
Yeah, maybe top 20.
I think he's right there. That
you could go either way. I don't know where I'd put him. I had to look at all the players.
Yeah.
And so I really like De'Aaron Fox. Like this is a really good trade. He wanted to go there. This team is immediately better. You got Wemby as point guard, which was so needed. And so there's really not much to say. Like this is probably a plus trade because they also didn't have to give up Castle, Keldon Johnson, Vassell. They really didn't have to give up any of their great young players, which is awesome. So they can still develop alongside Wemby. Fox can kind of be like one of their mentors with CP3. It's really awesome. I think his defense is not quite as good, which is okay because you have Wemby. De'Aaron Fox.
Okay.
Like I feel like he's sometimes like he's athletic enough where he plays really good defense, but sometimes he's kind of more lazy.
He's just super aggressive.
He's super aggressive, but he's inconsistent. Like I'm an advanced stat guy for defensive side because I think the regular defense statistics don't really tell you much.
Okay.
Like if you just have one steal, like James Harden has one steal per game. He has actually, I think he's one of the tops in steals usually, but that's because he just like has good hands and every once in a while gets a steal.
True.
I think advanced stats really show you really good about defense because it's more about like, do you lock down this guy? Like, are you matched up against the best scorer kind of thing? And it has in defensive box plus minus, which is like kind of just goes over your whole like defensive pedigree. It has De'Aaron Fox ranks as the 145th best defender, which is I think it's pretty valid. Like he has high highs and then kind of low lows with his aggressive style. But I don't think you had to worry about that. Like this is about getting a top young point guard to pair with Wemby. They'll work it out together.
Yeah.
And any mistake he makes, Wemby's just gonna clean it up.
Dude.
Like
how many blocks is he averaging right now?
I don't know. Let me
At one
check.
point it was 3.9.
It has to be around there.
Which is insane. You're gonna have to pay Fox. But you gave up no good asset.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that.
No, basically they salary dumped Zach Collins, who wasn't playing, and Trey Jones, who's a decent point guard.
I think one of the reasons that they were able to do that is because De'Aaron Fox said, I'm only going to the Spurs.
Yeah.
So, like, really, the Kings had no leverage here, which was so great for the Spurs. Because really, even if, like, let's say the Magic would have been a great spot for De'Aaron Fox, but the Magic was like, well, that's just my opinion. But anyway, someone like the Magic, any team, they're like, I'm not trading for that guy. He's just going to leave my team in a couple years.
I thought the Heat.
Ew. I don't know about that.
Well,
but
him and Bam
it could work.
We're college teammates.
Yeah, but he still would have gone to the Spurs. So I think there was just like, yeah.
Okay.
Like he literally said, I'm going to go this. I mean, Wimpy's an attractive player.
Yeah.
Like everyone wants to play with him. He's averaging 3.9 blocks per game.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, which is crazy.
How many steals?
Let's see. Steals. He's at 1.1. So, but I'm not a big steals guy.
So
I don't like steals.
5 stocks a game.
Yeah. He's a big time player. Let's focus on the other teams because we know I think the Spurs A plus, whatever you want to say.
I think I don't know if you can give an A plus now that Luka.
Okay, yeah, Luka.
So I'll say A.
The Luka trade is like the
is
the peak. I want to focus on the Kings a little bit, and then we can focus on the Bulls.
Okay.
The Kings, this is kind of weird for them because it's like, why did you not break down? Why did you get Zach LaVine in return?
Well, okay.
But here's my thoughts on it. I think for an organization like the Kings, they don't want to go because like before this, they didn't make the playoffs for 17 years straight, and they don't want to go back to that. Like I don't think they can convince their ownership or fan base like, hey, we're gonna go break down and have 5 years of just getting high first round picks. And so even though like building from the middle, which the Kings are going to be doing, is not as great as building from the bottom, it's still possible. Like they're
Yeah.
this team that they can wait, and if like someone like a Giannis asks out, they have a lot of first round picks. While not super valuable, they have a lot of them. They have some contracts of good players that they can make a trade. So I kind of like this for them. I know people have kind of been like, why did you do this?
Yeah.
I actually kind of like it.
Like Bulls West.
Yeah, like it is Bulls West, but for an organization like Bulls should not be doing Bull stuff because they've had great or like stuff in the past.
Yeah.
Kings have had nothing in the past. So this is good for them to stay around a playing team and then hope to build for the middle. And if it doesn't work for a couple years, at least you got to playoffs a couple more times and then you break down.
I think they got better.
Wait, for real? Okay. Give me the reason why.
Like not in this trade,
Yeah.
but overall. Okay, so they made 3 trades.
Yeah.
Okay. So they traded Fox for Levine basically.
Mm-hmm. And some first round picks.
And some first round picks. I think Levine can give you more spacing.
That's true. That's a very
So
valid point.
You're gonna get more spacing. You're gonna move Malik to the point guard. So your starting lineup is Malik Monk, Zach Levine, DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Sabonis.
I kind of like that starting lineup. It's nice.
Okay, they made a trade for Jake LaRavia. I think it's Jake.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
made a trade for LaRavia, who I think will be a rotation player for them pretty easy.
Yeah,
They have Keon Ellis off the bench.
I like him. Great defender.
Yeah, great defender. And then they traded for Valanciunas, which at first we were texting, and I thought, oh, I wonder if this is a Sabonis trade.
Yeah, like they're preparing for that kind of thing.
Yeah. But no, this is just a. I didn't realize this. Did you know they're from the same country?
Yeah,
So
I didn't see that. I didn't know that
played
at first, but then I saw that later. I was like, dang, that's crazy.
They've played together,
Hmm.
and so they know how to play together. That's a solid 8-man rotation.
Yeah,
Am I
they did-
missing anybody?
Maybe, but they didn't have any solid backup bigs before, so that was a really valuable
Well,
trade.
Trey Lyles was playing okay.
Yeah, but for like more defensive perspective and like being a big, I think
Kevin Huerter.
Kevin Huerter's gone now because he got traded in the
Okay.
trade.
Okay,
But I kind of see what you're saying. I get where you're coming from.
I think they got deeper.
And they definitely like Zach LaVine is shooting 43.7% from 3 this year, which is like insane. He's like, I think the most efficient scorer in the NBA right now. Like he's having a career year.
Most efficient.
Like I'm pretty sure he's up
partner.
there. And so like having the spacing, which they really lacked before. Like you had DeRozan, all he can do is shoot twos. Fox, one game he's making threes, the next game he's 0 for 1,000.
2 for 7.
And then you have Sabonis, he's not shooting threes.
No.
You have Monk, who's
Well, he's been shooting it. He's been shooting a little bit.
yeah. You have Monk, who's at threes, just like very like mid. And
Heat
then
that guy.
Keegan Murray, he's pretty good.
He'll shoot it.
But yeah, the spacing, like Levine fits better into the lineup.
Yeah. So I like this. I'd give it a B plus. I do think Fox is. I think just this trade, I think you give him a B plus.
Yeah.
But I think overall, I really like the deadline for them. They added picks.
Yeah. I'd give it
Got some
a C for the trade. Because like Zach Levine's a better fit, but it's hard losing a player like Fox.
Yeah.
And all the time you took to develop him and you just couldn't surround him with the right talent. Was that on him? Was that on the talent? I don't know. I mean, time will tell. We'll see how he does in the Spurs.
Time will tell.
But I think it's still solid. You can rebuild from the middle. So the thing it reminds me of is the Cavs when they're younger, but when they had the Mobley, Allen, and Garland year when they went 44 and 38 and they made the plan. Like it reminds me of that kind of team where they just need one more trade for a star and this team fits around each other well. It could look nice.
They didn't really build from the middle though. They just traded.
I mean, they didn't build from the middle, but I'm saying like their team was like 44 and 38. It was like, this is the record you're going to see the Kings get pretty often. And then they made that trade to take the next level.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping the Kings are going to do that because I want to see the Kings be good. And I think the trade allows them to do that.
Would the Kings trade for Trae Young?
I could see that. I don't know if that it depends who they traded away.
Or LaMelo Ball?
LaMelo Ball, I'd like to see there. I'm not gonna lie, but I think Trae Young is the better player. I just don't know what the trade package would be. Like you'd have to do Keegan Murray and a lot of picks, really.
No, because I don't think the salary.
Well, you'd have to figure out different salary stuff. You can do some vets you have on your roster.
I don't even think it could be DeRozan. It would have to be Levine.
Yeah, you may have to do Levine, which I
Or it
but
could
see
be,
losing the Levine kind of makes the spacing not good again. Like it just
yeah.
eliminates what you did.
Well, maybe you could do, and this is just theoretical. Maybe you could do Valanciunas and DeRozan. I don't know what the
You could find contracts. It could
yeah
work. You could
picks.
do 5 team trades and stuff. But just in a theory, like you put Trey Young on this team with not changing anything. Maybe just taking Keegan Murray. Like I like that team a lot.
Don't
Not
hate it.
not a championship team, but a nice high seed team.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Bulls. You have
I
thoughts?
mean, they got rid of the Zach LaVine contract, which in theory gave them the ability to rebuild, to break down.
He was good this year.
Yeah, but they can't be the Bulls like the Bulls they've been for the past 5 years, where they're just in the middle.
I don't understand anything they do, dude.
Like, and at first I was like, oh, this is a really good trade. You got rid of the contract. Now
Yeah.
you can trade away all your good players, start losing.
They didn't.
And they didn't trade any of them
They
away.
extended Lonzo.
Yeah, that's what they did after that. And
2 for 20. It's actually a good deal.
so like this trade, I would have gave a C before,
Yeah.
but now knowing their moves, I give it like a D because I'm like, if you wanted to be mid, keep Levine. Like that's the whole like if you want to be the Bulls, keep your best mid player. But
Well, the
no.
Bulls, like, you know that friend that he has that girlfriend and they break up like a billion times? And it's like, dude, just pick one direction. Either go find another one or settle down with this one,
Yeah.
right? You got that friend? Or you know people
Yeah,
who
yeah,
are
yeah,
like
yeah.
that? They're like this. They can't decide if they want to rebuild. They can't decide if they want to contend. They can't. But even like going back to the original DeRozan deal, the free agent deal, it was thought of as a horrible deal at the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was. Why are you making these moves, Bulls? I
It-
need answers.
It doesn't make sense. Like I was like when the trade happened, I was like, okay, this could be great. They could break down, they could start tanking, which they haven't done. And they said, nah, I love being mid. They love having the 10th seed in the East. They love that seed.
Why is Vucevic?
Vucevic? I don't know. That
Why is he still there?
there's no reason for him to be there. The Warriors apparently wanted someone would have took him. Like I don't even care if you got nothing. Get rid of your players so you can start losing.
And they always get the worst end out of these deals.
Yeah.
Like they don't get the picks.
Oh my, yeah. Like
How did the Spurs leave this trade with the Atlanta Hawks pick this year?
I don't know, man.
How did neither of these teams
Nothing makes sense with the Bulls and the Kings, but we give the Kings a break because
Yeah.
they got at least 2 first-round picks in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Which seconds are kind of the new currency of the NBA, which is kind of weird. But because it's just like it's almost like money, a currency.
Yeah, they're easy. There's no restrictions on them. So
Yeah, and they're like it's just like how currency works. It's just like I
Yeah.
have this so I can get something else. But yeah, so I think great for the Spurs, kind of confusing for the Bulls, and then Kings is like,
I
yeah,
like the Kings.
it's
I
pretty
like
good.
I like their deadline overall.
Okay, let's move on to the Warriors trade. I'm not reading all this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 5 teams involved and a bunch of players. So I'm just going to talk about the main thing. The Warriors got Jimmy Butler. The Heat received Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Davion Mitchell back in a first round pick.
Yeah.
And they traded away some other stuff like Josh Richardson and a bunch of random stuff. But we're just focusing on basically Jimmy Butler for Andrew Wiggins and Kyle Anderson. What's the vibes you're feeling?
Okay. Well, supposedly KD was going to be in this deal,
Which would have been wild.
either to the Heat or the Warriors. So first off, I want to say, and I know this isn't part of the trade, KD is definitely not going to be on the Suns next year.
No, he's gone.
Is he on the Rockets, Spurs? Who's the team? I don't know.
But he's
Not the Warriors, apparently.
yeah.
So, Jimmy Butler, you had to do something. He's still a pretty solid defender, good secondary playmaker and scorer, I think. I think playoffs. I think he's gonna be very motivated to be good.
Yeah.
Do you have any? I don't know that this makes them like great. I think it makes them better.
Yeah. I got some thoughts. I think Jimmy Butler is a weird player because in the regular season he's just doo-doo. Like he's like I mean he's good, but like he's like fringe top 50 player, has some good games, has some really bad games.
Yeah.
But as soon as he gets to the playoffs, like he turns it on. He goes crazy.
Playoff Jimmy's
Like
real.
it actually is really look at the stats 2022, 2023 playoffs. He He averaged 26.9 points per game. Regular season, I think it was around 20. Same in the 2022 playoffs,
It's only like
27.4.
19, 18.
In the 2020 playoffs, he averaged 22.2. And so, like, he's always, like, elevating his scoring, his three-point shooting, his everything in the playoffs,
Yeah.
which is going to be really important for the Warriors and Steph Curry because Steph Curry's old. Like, you can actually tell.
Yeah. Yeah. He can't do it.
He really can't get around players as well as he can. You put put a hard defender on him. Back in the day, he's moving around enough. He's getting an open shot. He can't really do that anymore.
Yeah, not as much.
But now Jimmy Butler kind of keeps defenses honest. Like they gotta at least give Jimmy Butler some respect. Jimmy Butler can do some scoring on his own, which really before that there really wasn't a player like that on the team.
Yeah,
like
Schroeder was supposed to be
maybe Andrew Wiggins, but not really. And so the fact that you get Jimmy Butler helps in the playoffs. It helps give Steph Curry open shots. Jimmy can score when Steph is tired and old. And so like I like it for the fact that instead of getting out in the play-in, they get kicked out in the first round. So
yeah, I guess.
think it elevates them to a championship team. Unless Jimmy Butler is 2020 Jimmy Butler or 2020 the playoff Jimmy that we see in the past, maybe they can get the second round. But once again, this team is just too flawed to be able to beat the Thunder or beat the Celtics or beat the Cavs.
Well, they need a big who can space the floor.
Yeah,
Vooch
would have been good, but I guess the Bulls didn't want to trade him away. So
I don't get
that's
it.
funny.
I don't get it.
One thing that I think is really funny about this trade and why it may not work out, Draymond and Jimmy are on the same team. How long does it take for them to like one of them to kill each other or to like start punching on the court?
I think Draymond will be. I think they'll be fine for the rest of this year.
In the next season, that's where it all starts falling apart.
Yeah, I think it could be.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Warriors had to make this trade. They had to do something for Steph.
Had to.
Steph is their quote unquote god in the Warriors and Golden State. Like this man got them 4 championships.
What Luka wanted to be.
What Luka wanted to be for Dallas. Like you had to give him something.
Yeah.
Like you had to give him something at the end of his career to give him a chance to compete in the playoffs. Even though maybe future terms, this really didn't affect their future that much either. They kept their quote unquote guys who are not good, like Kuminga, but
Kuminga's getting traded.
Yeah. But this is what you had to do. Even if it affected your future, you had to get a star. So I give it a B because like they had to do it. But I don't love Jimmy as a fit on this team. He doesn't shoot the 3 well enough.
No, he doesn't.
And even though there's playoff Jimmy, this team didn't get a good center. Like you said, they needed that stretch big.
They've been playing a second round guy named Quentin Post.
Yeah. They just like took one step towards being contender and said, we're good. And I mean, yeah, you did it for Steph. Maybe Steph will be happy. It gives them like a puncher's chance. Like if like something wild happens, I could see them making a run in the playoffs, but no way they're winning it. A run as in the second round. Yeah, okay. Second round. They're a playing team right now. The run for a playing team is kind of relative.
I think it's a B for the Warriors.
Okay.
I don't love it. I'm not a big Jimmy Butler guy.
Yeah.
I love the playing style, but the personality sucks.
Yeah.
And it's just like, can you like they gave him an extension. It's a 2-year extension, but it's really just 1.
Yeah.
So they have him on contract for the next 3 years.
It's
at $50 million a year, and he's 35. 6?
Yeah, and he's not. I don't know how long he's gonna last.
I think he's 35.
Like I think he's gonna start making a fuss within 18 months, easy. And so,
yeah, I mean, who would trade for 7-year-old Jimmy Butler?
Once again, with Steph is Steph 38? I don't know how old Steph is. 37, maybe 36.
He's younger than that.
Let's younger than that. Steph age 36. With Steph being 36,
I was thinking like 34 or 5.
Yeah, no, he's pretty old. With him being 36, you gotta give him one last chance.
Yeah, I guess so.
And so give him a star. You went for KD first, which was the right move. Go for the better player. But then,
so do they make a push for Giannis when he comes available?
Yeah, I think they make a push for every superstar. Like they're gonna do that at the end of Steph's career. This is probably the type of like superstar they can get with the assets they have.
So I guess you keep Kuminga and Pods.
Kuminga's so overrated. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Like
he doesn't really do much for
every Warriors prospect is praised by the media, praised by everyone. Remember when they thought Moses Moody was the truth? They're like, this is the guy. I'm like, no, he's not. It's like
Oh, dude.
it's a Warriors bias that's crazy.
Pods was supposed to be something.
And then he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Well,
He
that's
said,
that's
I
a
forgot
big
to play.
reason. Like he's the reason for this trade.
Yeah.
He
But-
didn't take a support.
But there was not enough evidence to support him being
no,
this.
no.
They were just like, yeah, we're good at developing. And the media was like, yeah, they're good at developing. And then they're like, they're going to be good.
Should they have cut Poole?
Yeah. Poole was their only young guy that I think had a chance. But then again, Draymond.
Would you trade Jimmy Butler for Poole right now?
Okay. If you give me some first with that too. Poole in the first? Yeah. Like Poole is
Because he's been decent this year.
yeah, Poole is like he's not a microwave scorer. He's almost a microwave scorer, but he's more like, I don't care scorer.
He was really bad last year, and he got better this year.
Yeah, he's like a I don't care scorer. One night I might drop 35. He's like a LaMelo Ball if LaMelo Ball was not skilled, kind of thing. And so like, but he has
LaMelo Ball.
potential if Draymond was not in his life in Golden State. Draymond should have been traded 4 years ago.
Oh, before that.
Well, he helped with the championship run. After 2022, you should have said, bye-bye, Draymond. We don't need you
I
anymore.
thought they were going to trade him last year.
They should have. Like, he's really just breaks down the locker room, breaks down.
I saw a reported
He has no
trade.
more fit anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he's just weird.
I saw a reported trade where he was in a trade between the Heat, Suns, and the Warriors, and he was going to the Suns.
He would have made fun of Bradley Beal so much.
Well, it was like the team for the Suns would have been Booker, Beal, Butler, Draymond.
No, that still would have been gross.
Is that better than what they have?
No, it's worse.
No.
But they would go from the eighth seed to the sixth seed and lose in the first round again.
No, they might go back.
They could.
Well, like, just think about that. I mean, who's shooting threes?
Devin Booker. Oh my! I hate.
Kind of Bradley Beal.
Yeah, the Suns just make me depressed when I think about them. They're ruining Devin Booker. Like, I mean, some of it's on him, yes,
I don't know.
but they ruined his prime. Like,
Yeah.
Devin Booker's gonna come out of that organization at 35 years old with 0 chips and be like, my career was ruined.
No, they'll get rid of him and Durant.
Rockets trade for him would be cinema. Would be perfect.
So okay, we talk about that a lot. What is the Rockets lineup after that trade?
Okay, so here's my in theory trade, which is maybe a stupid trade. But we have 2 of the Suns picks, right? So that's pretty high value for them. If they're trading Devin Booker, they're breaking down. Like that's their franchise, that's their cornerstone.
It's all the Suns picks.
So you give the Suns picks, you probably give them maybe one more first round pick that's yours.
I think it's probably 1 or 2.
That's not valuable, yeah, 1 or 2. And then you give up for the contracts, let's say Dylan Brooks and Jeff Green. I don't know if that's enough. Or you just do Van Vliet.
You can't do Van Fleet.
Okay, so then let's go Dylan Brooks, Jeff Green, and whoever else you need to put in there. I don't know what the contracts are.
I think it would be Jalen Green.
Well, I think let me finish real quick. I haven't finished. So that's the contract guys. Those guys don't matter. And I think you put either one of Reed Shepherd, Jalen Green, or Jabari Smith. One of those 3.
We'll see. I think it'll be instead of Brooks and
Jeff Green.
Jeff Green, like that money roughly is similar to the Jalen Green money.
Yeah, you'd have to do Jalen Green and probably Jeff Green.
So I think it would be Jalen Green and Reed.
Yeah.
I can't. Tari,
I don't see because I think those first round picks are so valuable. I could see and maybe with Reed, but I think it just has to be if it's I think it'd be Reed and Jabari or Reed and Tari.
I think Booker's a top 10 player though.
I don't know if he's top 10. I'll give him top 15, maybe top 20.
Okay, who's better than him?
I mean, in the league,
Yeah.
Luka, Giannis, Jokic, Shea, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I need to look at like a list of NBA players.
You would take Jaylen Brown over Devin Booker?
They're about the same to me. Like
Okay,
I think they have
Booker's
different things.
Better.
I have John Morant over him. That's another guy. I'm just looking at
Really?
Jalen
Okay.
Brunson, Anthony Davis.
Okay.
I think Steph's still above. He's like
Really?
they're like right there. Kevin Durant, Victor Wembanyama. I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm probably at like 10. Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell. I'm looking at a list of players.
You would take Donovan Mitchell over Devin
I'd
Booker?
take Paulo over him. Like,
What?
and then that's probably it.
All right.
I may be missing a player.
We just view him differently. Okay.
Yeah. So he'd be, for me, that's around like 16.
I think he's top 10.
Okay. I mean, well, why do you think he's top 10?
I think he can do a lot of things that a lot of other players can't. I think he's consistent. Um, yeah, I would take him over Curry.
Okay. Like if I was trading for him, I'd trade him for him over Curry. I'd say right now, I think I'd have Curry like one step above him.
Curry's playing like what, 27 minutes a game?
Yeah, he's put in an awful situation. You put Curry in a better situation, I think he's still a top 15 player.
I don't know. I think I think Devin Booker is very valuable.
I think he's very valuable, but I don't think he's a number one player on any championship team. And the rest of the players I listed, I think most of them I would take as a number one player, not Anthony Davis. But most of them I take, and that makes him below. Because he does a lot of good things.
Yeah.
He's really steady on offense, but he's just not that like number one, I'm that guy kind of dude, which sounds like sounds like a very subjective thing that you can't really measure.
Mm-hmm.
But just watching him, I don't think he could be the best player in championship team unless it's a perfect team around him.
Well, I think you're also going to be paying a championship tax.
Yeah.
Or like a contender tax. Like this is going to make the Rockets I know you're a Rockets fan, so I'm sorry, but I don't think they're a real contender.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is just to figure out, this playoffs is to figure out who you want to keep and who you want to get rid of.
Exactly. But I think that's to get rid of for Devin Booker.
Yes.
Because I think he can take you there.
I agree with let's say you just replace Jalen Green with Devin Booker. I think this is the championship contender for the Rockets. Because I think his skill set helps with that. But I just think like some of these players I put above him could do more with less.
Would you do Jalen Green, Jabari plus the picks we talked?
No, I couldn't give both of them up. Like I can't.
Really?
But Jalen Green and maybe Reed.
I think maybe you're overvaluing Jalen Green.
He's been really good this year. Like I think, like I get it. He's inconsistent, but he's still dropping 20 a game. He keeps getting better and better each game. He's being more efficient.
Yeah.
And I get it. Defense is not great, but neither is Devin Booker's. And with Ime Udoka, like Jalen Green's effort has gone up and up and up, and each season he's gone up and up in effort offensively and defensively. And one thing that Jalen Green that Devin Booker doesn't have is that explosiveness. Like Devin Booker just can't quite do that at the rim. Doesn't quite like I'm not saying he's a bad finisher.
Yeah.
But the things that Jalen Green does at the rim is like John Morant things. Like he does that in his peak. Is he consistently doing it? No. But like in Jalen Green, like this guy sound bad. In his peak, he's a combination of Devin Booker and John Morant, but not quite as good.
I think he's a shot creator who can't make shots.
Maybe. That's what he's been early in his career. But this season he's slowly making more and more shots. And that's why I'm okay watching how he looks in the playoffs. And let's say he has a stinker of a playoffs, I'm fine from getting shipped off. But right now, the way he's playing, I really want to keep him. But I mean, if it's just him, I'm fine with giving him, but him and Jabari's such a valuable defender.
What about Eason?
Maybe. I don't know. I just want to see them all in the playoffs. I think that's my thought.
That's fair.
This Rockets playoffs, afterwards, I'll say, here's who I'm willing to give up for Devin Booker. We'll come back. We'll come back episode after the playoffs, and I'll say who I'm willing to give up.
How did we end up on the future of the Rockets on a Warriors trade?
I don't know.
All right, so Heat.
Or
did you want to talk about Warriors?
Oh, no. Yeah, we both did.
What do you give the grade for the Warriors?
I said B. What about you?
B.
Okay, for Heat, I'm just going to do this one real quick. Andrew Wiggins is just poor man's Jimmy Butler. But you didn't really have any leverage. You got Davion Mitchell out of it, and you got a first-round pick. I'll give you a B.
Davion Mitchell and Kyle Anderson aren't nothing.
Yeah, but so it was good. It's a B. It's not like Jimmy Butler, if he wasn't asking out, I think you could have got more, but he literally forced it.
I think it's A.
A? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like it's a B A.
I think it's an A or maybe an A. I don't think it's as good as the Spurs trade. I think A minus because Jimmy was they got Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Davion Mitchell, and a first round pick for nothing.
Yeah,
because Butler wasn't.
And they traded away a second round pick and Josh Richardson and some cash.
Oh, okay, Josh.
Oh, actually 3 second round picks.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, so yeah, I understand. Like, it's pretty good for what you had. But I think if Jimmy, like, in an ideal world, if Jimmy didn't ask out, I think you could get more. Which maybe I'm just judging them harshly. Mm-hmm. But I think like it's good, but it's not great. So that's why I go B.
Okay. Do we want to grade the Jazz, the Pistons, or the Raptors?
Nah, I think we I think we leave them.
I like the Pistons getting Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, it's a nice shot creator off the bench. They didn't have like a ton of that.
Well, I think he might start. They
Oh
lost
yeah, they could he could start. You're right.
because they lost Ivy for the year.
Yeah.
So
We'll see. But anyway, he's a good shot creator to give like take some weight off of Cade Cunningham, I
yeah.
think.
Okay, we got probably two or three more
Yeah,
decent deals.
I say we go the Brandon Ingram trade.
Next.
Yeah, I say we go that one next, and then we can talk about some other smaller ones.
Okay, let's do it.
So Raptors received Brandon Ingram, and in turn they gave the Pelicans Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, a first round pick, and a second round pick. What's your vibe?
Okay, I do not like it for the Raptors.
Okay.
People have been talking about how they do not get free agents, so this was basically a free agent move. I just don't know, like you got even less shooting than you already had. How different is he from RJ Barrett or Scotty Barnes?
Okay.
Like I just feel like he's kind of redundant with those two players there. Like he's not a 3-point shooter. He needs the ball in his hands. I just don't know that there's a great Ingram team. I wouldn't like I know the Hawks were in on this too. I would have liked him better on the Hawks. But you don't give up much for him. I do not like giving up the first round pick though.
Okay.
But if you had to do it to make it happen, but you got to extend him. You have to. You have
Yeah.
to pay him. And so I don't know if I love it, but Kelly Olynyk, he's going to play for the Pelicans. I don't know about Bruce Brown, first pick, second round pick. I'd say like a C plus for the Raptors. And you got a first round. If you're the Pelicans, you weren't going to bring him back anyways. You
Yeah.
get a first round pick. So B for the Pelicans.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I think I like it a little more than you because one thing about this Raptors teams is they've been like a bad team who's played a lot of games close.
Yeah.
And the one thing is like a lot of their players has been injured. So they're quote unquote big three. It's okay, they're three. They're not a big three. But if Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, and Emmanuel quickly, they haven't really played a lot of minutes together. I saw something somewhere. This is not fact checked. So this could be completely wrong, but like in January, they only played like 80 minutes together all season. That's three.
Jeez.
Because Emmanuel Quickly's only played 12 games, I think, now by this time. And so the
They
fact,
paid him too.
yeah, the fact they haven't played together, this team's core hasn't really played together, and they've played a lot of games close.
Mhm.
I think if they're healthy, plus Brandon Ingram gets them to a 7 seed, a 6 seed, maybe. The East is
So
weak.
for
The East
next
is
year-
weak for next year, not this year. This year they're gone. And the big thing is, like they're gonna have that get better just because everyone's healthy plus Brandon Ingram, and then also they are gonna have a high first round pick this year. So if they draft really well, this team could turn out really good. Let's say like they get luck. Like right now they have the 5th best odds. That may go down a bit, but let's say somehow they get the first pick. Put Cooper Flag on this team.
Well,
You just build a championship contender if he's who people think he is. But also Ace Bailey. And
who's
our
closing-
guy? RJ Harper? Is that his name? I don't know.
Harper, yeah. Who's closing games for this team? Who's the 5?
That's a good question.
All are healthy. Who's the 5? Is it Quickly?
So it'd be Barrett, Quickly, Scotty Barnes. Ooh. Jakob Pertl.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be the next one? Oh, I didn't say Ingram, so it'd be Ingram. So it'd be Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly, Brandon Ingram, and Jakob Pertl.
There's nobody who's like a really good 3-point shooter.
Yeah, it's not.
Are you not putting Grady Dick out there?
Maybe you put Grady Dick out there instead of
Because he's
Emmanuel
been
Quickly
good.
or RJ Barrett. Yeah, he's been really good. And I think you stagger his minutes to get him in those
Yeah.
lineups for 3-point shooting. But I'm just saying, like, while it's not incredible, like I think if they draft really well, this could be a team that as they grow together can become a contender. No, Brandon Ingram's not perfect. He's a very flawed star. Or no, he's not star, but a very flawed player, French all-star kind of player. Maybe a new situation makes him more consistent. Maybe it doesn't,
Maybe.
but I don't think the
He's also not a good defender.
yeah. It's like I'm not like saying this is a great trade, but I don't think this is like a bad trade either. Like I'll give it a B, like because at least they're trying something. If it doesn't work, That's
It
okay.
feels like Bulls in Canada.
But I think they're better than Bulls in Canada because they have a lot of young players with great potential.
So
Oche Agbaje, he's good too.
younger Bulls in Canada.
Younger Bulls
Cannibal.
in Canada with I think the potential to be
More.
a contender.
Okay. All right.
Maybe not. So that's a B. And I think the Pelicans, they weren't gonna re-sign him. Give them a B too. They got a first round pick out of it.
All right. Marcus Smart got dumped to the Wizards. Just wanted to say that out loud.
Bro, what happened to Marcus Smart?
Injured. Dude.
Yeah, it's just like
Never plays.
it's kind of crazy. I miss him.
So then we got Cavs for Hunter.
Yeah, I think that's a big one to mention.
Is that going to be the last one?
I've two I want to mention quickly, but just like quick. So we can go that one more long and then
Yeah, let's do it. Cavs trade for Hawks Hunter, so DeAndre Hunter goes to the Cavs. I assume he'll be starting at the 3 for Karis LeVert, who has been playing well for them. I believe he actually had I think Bobby Marks said that he has a bonus in his contract if the team he's on wins the championship.
who does?
Karis LeVert. And he just got traded away from the Cavs.
The cat said, "Go to the Hawks. You'll never win there."
Just in case.
We didn't want to pay that money.
And then George Niang. 3 second-round picks, 2 pick swaps. I like and don't like it for the Cavs just from the fact that, like, you hear from people who know stuff like Bill, Ryan Russillo,
You're a big
Bob
Bill guy.
Marks, even like the Hoop Collective.
Yeah.
They are all like the not the Hawks. The Cavs locker room's amazing. They love Niang. They love LeVert.
Yeah.
Like the vibes are great. I don't know anything about DeAndre Hunter's personality, but is that going to like throw things off? I don't know. But DeAndre Hunter, in theory, is a defender on the wings that you didn't have.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you're going to have to go play Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said earlier, who's defending?
Yeah. I think the trade was made because since they're a contender, yes, Karis LeVert was great. Yes, Niang was great for them. But you had no one guarding both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
You had no one really guarding Shea or Jalen Williams. You need like DeAndre Hunter is not like this guy's the greatest defender alive, but he's a big wing who can, is athletic. So he can keep up with Jason Tatum. He can keep up with Jaylen Brown. So I think that's really why the trade was made. Like, I mean, he's been a good shooter this year. He's been shooting 39.3 from 3. He's been averaging 19 points a game. This is definitely his career year. Like all the seasons before that, he was low-key mid. So hopefully this is not just like a outlier.
Flash in the pan.
But so was Karis LeVert. He was having, and George Niang. They were both having their like career years too. So this is really just a bet on he can be your defender, and then he can continue to make threes just like Niang and Karis LeVert were. Because you are losing those like guys who were like good 3-point shooters and were having career years.
Yeah.
But I think bringing Hunter in is just the right move because when you're a team like the Cavs, you operate in a different way.
You got to
like,
try and win.
You're not just looking for like best player. You're looking for fit. Like you got to make sure this starting lineup, this lineup can beat the Celtics, can beat the Thunder. And so it helps them. Did
you like Hunter over Johnson?
Well, the Cavs couldn't get Johnson. I think Johnson is like really good. Like I think he's by next 2 years he's gonna be all-star. Like I think he's that good. And I think that's why, like, yeah, I don't think you could have got him.
Okay.
Like I think Jalen Johnson has more like offensive hub material, like potential.
No. Not Jalen Johnson.
Oh. Wait, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Thomas.
Thomas?
Wait.
Wait, on what team?
Hold on. No, not Cam Thomas.
Oh, Cam Johnson? You're talking about from the Nets?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Holy crap, I can't believe I forgot his name.
I think Cam Johnson's better, but apparently the Nets were asking for 2 firsts.
Ooh.
And so I think the fact that you didn't have to give up a first, you just gave up
2 swaps.
But like I think Nets were asking for straight up just like first by themselves. And so the fact that you didn't have to give up 2 true firsts and just like 3 second-round picks. Yes, Cam Johnson in like a great like perfect world is better, but I don't really know what you had to give up. So this is a really good trade.
I like it for the Cavs. I think another thing that you have to think about with this two things. First, most importantly, next year this makes them a second apron team and like into it. There's no way getting out of it. Okay, so you're locked into the starting five. Hope it works, guys. And then second, because they're not a second apron team right now, they can still go sign buyout guys.
Yeah.
So Ben Simmons just got bought out. I expect he would be on the Cavs.
Yeah, I think they said he was meeting with the Cavs, Rockets, and one other team. I could look it up.
But the Heat and Ben Simmons, that doesn't. So I would love Ben Simmons on the Cavs. Ben Simmons has actually been okay this year.
Cleveland, Clippers, and Rockets. Those are the three.
Clippers.
The Clippers are a weird team. I feel like he'd be. I mean, they need some more depth, so I think it'd be good.
I think he can be a good defender.
If he put Simmons, like I'm not gonna lie, I love at LSU first 4 years in Philadelphia. Like I was like, dang, this guy's fun to watch. And then you just it about the Hawks.
No.
I think for the Hawks, like DeAndre Hunter was redundant. Like you had Jalen Johnson, you had Zachary
Yeah.
Richardson, whatever you however you say his name.
Ricochet.
Yeah, I'm not French, so I
You're good.
can't do that. So he was kind of redundant. I don't know. Like I don't know what you're doing in all honesty,
Oh,
because like you're basically telling Trey Young like, yeah, we just got worse, but keep staying here, keep being happy. Like
I guess
you
you
gotta
got swaps.
you got to get rid of Trey Young. Like you can't like subject this man to just being here where you're just continually making trades that put you backwards.
I actually think this team fits better around Trey Young than it ever has before.
It did, but then all of a sudden you got rid of DeAndre Hunter, who helped with that.
Yeah.
Like I think it did like this season it did fit better, but now they're losing games.
I think they
got rid of one of their best
Oh,
players.
yeah. I think they have the groundwork for a good team in a year
Yeah.
or two, in a couple years. So I mean, I like the Hawks going forward. I don't know about this trade.
I just don't know if now like Trey Young's gonna be patient for that long. Like they're telling him like, hey, you've already been patient for like 7 years. Just be patient for 2 more. At some point, he's good.
Who's the young team? Who's the Trey Young team?
I thought the Spurs were the young team. Maybe
Okay,
you said the
Spurs are
Kings.
out.
You said the Kings. The Kings could be the young team.
Kings.
Who is the young team? That's not a.
It's not Portland. It's not the Jazz. It's not the Nets.
Yeah.
It's not,
Oh,
it's
the
not
Magic.
Boston.
Because the thing about the Magic is they have like the best defense in the NBA, but they have like one of the worst offenses.
So you're going to be paying. You could only really pay Trey, Paulo, and Franz
Yeah. And then hope you get some.
because those two are over 40.
Yeah. It's not great financially, but I think it'd be a really good fit for the Magic.
Okay.
Maybe
I don't know if you could keep Suggs or not if you had Trey.
there's not a great the Raptors. You made that Brandon Ingram trade. Now get Trey Young there.
What would the team be? Would it be like quickly, or the trade would be like quickly?
Yeah, you give it quickly and a young
RJ?
guy. I think RJ stays. I think you give quickly. Maybe you give Grady Dick or maybe
Oh,
Ochai
I'm wanting to
Agbaji.
keep. I want to keep.
So maybe go Ochai Agbaji. Or I'm saying his name so wrong. I'm sorry, my man. Yeah, Trey Young. I kind of feel bad for him. Well, I don't know if I feel bad for him because I'm not a big Trey Young guy. So I'm just kind of like sucks to be Trey Young right now. Okay.
Oh, I actually missed one, but you go ahead.
I have 2 more I wanted to do. Maybe
Yeah.
this is
probably
a part of it.
definitely.
One is Kyle Kuzma to the Bucks.
Yeah,
I need to find it.
I got it.
Okay. Oh no, there's a lot of teams. Let's just say Bucks received Kyle Kuzma, Wizards received Chris Middleton. A lot of stuff went everywhere. I think that's good enough.
Yeah, first round pick swap to the Wizards.
And AJ Johnson, who maybe is a young guy that could be good, but we like you
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean,
Basically,
he
you
is,
don't know.
he is,
What is he? A rookie, second year?
I think he's a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie. Like
He was
we
their
did-
first round pick this year.
Yeah, he was 23rd. So yeah, you don't really know about him. But it's basically like a first round pick.
I hate it.
You hate it for who?
The Bucks.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Like, I get trading Middleton. Why?
Why was Kuzma your guy
Yeah,
out
why
of
was
all
Kuzma
people?
the guy?
I mean,
I would have taken Jeremy Grant over Kuzma.
not because the only thing is Jeremy Grant's contract is so bad I
He
wouldn't.
still would have taken him
The-
over, I don't know,
okay,
maybe
Jeremy Grant is a better fit, but he's what is his contract? He's like 3 years and like
40.
40 million per year left. Or and so
But Kuzma is a negative all around right now. He's
he,
not playing well.
yeah, okay, so here's his stats. 42 from the field, 28 from three,
Oh, dude. So
15
he's
points,
missing 72% of his threes.
5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 turnovers per game. And only 27 minutes. The thing about Kuzma, I don't like the trade. Like, you should have got someone else. But the thing is, who you getting for an old Chris Middleton who's injured all the time?
Hmm.
Who even when he's healthy, he's not that great.
Yeah.
It's hard to get someone great. I think there's a chance this trade could be good because Kuzma was this was 2020. Kuzma was a really good fit on the Lakers team. He averaged 12 points per game. He averaged 36 from three, 44 from field goal percentage, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. But as like maybe he was the fourth best player on that team, third, fifth, wherever you want to place him on that list.
Sure, but
I know that's a long time ago. On a good team, he was a good fit for a championship team.
sure, I'll give you that. But he does not fulfill the Middleton role.
Yeah.
Bad shooter, bad defender.
Yeah, I'm not saying he it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm trying to give the Bucks a benefit of a doubt and give Kyle Kuzma the benefit of doubt that he'll elevate his game now that he has a better team because being on the Wizards is just like being in purgatory. Like you're cooked.
Oh yeah,
there.
big loser of the trade deadline, Chris Middleton.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And Marcus Smart.
Ooh.
Oh, hey, they'll create a great duo in Washington. But
Hey, Jordan Poole,
no, bro.
Alex Sarr,
Ooh. Anyway, yeah, I think
Koulibaly.
Cool Bally I think could be good.
One day.
So I think that hey, it frees up minutes for Koulibaly, so Koulibaly. It frees up minutes for Koulibaly, so I give the Wizards Loki an A here. Like got rid of Kuzma, who no one wanted. You received
But him and
Milton.
Koulibaly don't play the same spot.
Yeah, but it just frees up more minutes in general and gives him more chance to be a more like Kyle Kuzma was just taking shots away from your young players. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like they're not the same position, but he just took away shots.
I'll give the Wizards a B. You got to pick. Swap.
You got to, yeah, for a guy who's been playing awful. And you give your young guys more minutes. Because for the Wizards, you just want to be bad. You
But
just want to give your young players more
did they
minutes.
give him more minutes? They got back Chris Middleton.
Just, I hope Chris Middleton is just bought out. I don't think you really will, but maybe they will.
Spurs sign him for a year.
I don't want Chris Middleton. Well, Spurs are your team, but like, I don't think you really want Chris Middleton.
Why not?
Yeah, I guess he could be like the eighth man off your bench or something.
I'd play it. Well,
He'd be good.
I wouldn't play him over Sohan, but
What's your Bucks grade?
like, dude, like so bad.
So like F?
Like maybe like a D,
I'll give them a D plus.
because like
You did only trade away Milton, a first round pick swap, and AJ Johnson. What do you?
Portis is still there, right?
Yeah,
I didn't miss a Portis trade.
no, he's still there. Unless I missed it too.
This does not make sense.
But at least you got rid of Chris Middleton for at least something. Because what were you gonna get from him?
But Kuzma,
It's a weird trade. It's a weird.
did
fit.
you get something?
Yeah, like you got a player who, like in worst case scenario, is the seventh man in the rotation and can score some points off the bench.
But you had that in Chris Middleton.
He didn't play. He was always injured. So you got like worst case scenario, you got a Chris Middleton who's like an old Chris Middleton who's actually playing in Kyle Kuzma, or in best case scenario, you get that Lakers Kyle Kuzma, and he does some nice things.
I think I would have rathered have Middleton and Portis go for Butler.
Oh yeah, I would have rather had that, but I don't think that was a possibility.
I think it might have been.
Jimmy was being weird. He was saying I wasn't gonna resign with you. The
Okay,
Jimmy Butler
the one-
trade is weird.
The one I don't understand is the Grizzlies were interested, and he's the perfect fit.
Yeah, well,
And he said no.
I don't get what Jimmy wants. If you want a championship,
Well,
that was
he
your
doesn't want to
opportunity.
win.
Yeah. What do you want?
Money.
And to live in
I guess
California.
I guess they weren't going to give him the extension, but
But I didn't see that necessarily. Maybe they weren't, but maybe they were. Like
I don't know, man. They had a lot of money,
they did.
and they're going to have to pay their young guys.
Yeah, I guess so. But even not, like, get a championship, Jimmy.
Yeah,
You
try.
don't have a championship, so go get yourself
No,
one.
he doesn't. He's
But
had some runs.
obviously his intentions is not winning,
No.
is what we learned.
Like the next part of this, they got DeLon Wright,
Yeah.
playable wing. Is there any others?
There's one I want to talk about. Hawks trade Bogdanovich to the Clippers. I think that's a pretty nice ad for the Clippers. They have
Sure.
James Harden, they have Kawhi, and James Harden's been great this year. To like he's been the offensive hub, quote unquote, and he's made Norman Powell so much better.
Weird, right?
He's made Zubac so much better. Like he's still a really good guy that elevates players, but they just needed more scoring. They did not have a lot of scoring.
Powell was an all-star there for a second.
He should have been. I'm still mad that he wasn't.
Yeah.
Like anyway, I think this is good to get a scorer. Yes, I like Terrence Mann. I'll kind of miss him as a player, but you need that scoring.
Bones Highland.
But no, bro, Buddy was bad. I thought he was gonna be good at the beginning of his career. He's just been bad.
Let's see. Is there anything
I think
else?
that's kind of the big trades.
Suns deal Nurkic to the Hornets. Salary dump. They get back Cody Martin.
Yeah, you had to get rid of that guy.
Maybe Cody could be something for them.
Anyone can be something for the Suns at this point.
Well, wing defender.
Yeah, I'm saying anyone can be anything for the Suns. You don't have to be a
James
good player.
Wiseman to the Raptors. I think they actually waived him.
Yeah, I think we're at the bottom of the barrel, and there's nothing left.
Nothing left, man. Any thoughts?
It was a fun trade deadline. I will always remember where I was at the Luka trade. I was laying in bed watching Karate Kid 2.
Yeah.
First 6 minutes in, and then Samuel calls me. Rip Samuel, by the way. He didn't die, but we don't know where he went. But
Left the chat.
He called me, and he was like, "Did you see this tweet from Shams?" And I was like, "I'm watching Karate Kid. I don't want it." And he was like, "Look at the tweet." I said, "Okay." And I saw Luka that trade, and I said, "No way, no way."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "This guy got hacked." Well, everyone was saying he's got hacked. Luka probably thought he got hacked. Everyone thought he got hacked.
He was over at my house. He was like shooting up his telescope, looking at stuff. And
Yeah.
we were playing Xbox, and he's looking at his phone, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, this can't be real." No, I thought like his grandma died or something, and turns out, it's unthinkable. Maybe worse.
It could have been worse.
No, maybe worse than his grandma died.
That's what I'm saying. It could have been worse than Grandma died. I mean, Grandma's old. Okay, no.
It was her time, man.
Yeah, Grandma's old.
It was not
expected.
Luka's time.
Grandma dying is more expected than Luka getting traded. Can we agree? Okay, I don't know.
Way more expected.
So like, it could have been worse for Samuel.
Yeah, you prepare for grandma.
It's good being a Rockets and Spurs fan.
Amen, brother.
That's the place to be.
Amen.
And a Lakers fan. Oh, hey, well, I just want to rant real quick. I hate Lakers fans. They've never had to experience pain once in their life. Not even once. No pain.
The end of the Kobe Bryant era was rough.
Doesn't matter. They went from Magic to Shaq and Kobe, from Kobe by himself. Then a little bit, 3 years was a little rough. And they get LeBron and they get Luka. Sorry, I'm a little mad. Like,
oh, there's a lot more in there.
yeah, I just skipped a lot.
What didn't Hakeem?
Hakeem?
No.
Kareem. Kareem was there. Steve Nash was there. Paul Gasol. There's a lot of players. I just skipped a lot. But they have not had to experience pain.
So dumb.
And you're kind of close to that. I'm not gonna lie. As a Spurs fan, you haven't had to experience much pain, but your pain was like the last 5 years was really painful. But you had like 20 years of being good with Tim Duncan, 5 years of hell, and then you went to.
But for me as an actual Spurs fan, I only really remember 2 finals runs.
Okay.
And one of them was Ray Allen ripping my heart out.
Oh, okay. Then you're actually in a bad spot.
And yeah, actually, back then, who my favorite player was?
Was it Tony Parker?
It wasn't Tony.
Ginobili?
No.
Tim Duncan?
No.
Kawhi?
Nope.
Boris Diaw.
Dude, I love Boris. Nope, not Matt Bonner. My favorite player was Danny Green, bro.
Oh.
So that 2013 finals, he set the record for the most threes made in the finals. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. And they
Steph Curry
lost.
broke it a few years later, but
Dang. But yeah, so you've had to experience less pain than most NBA fans, but you're not a Lakers fan, so I can forgive you.
Keldon Johnson was our best player one year.
Bro, I kind of laughed during those years. Those teams were awful.
They were
Hey,
so bad.
I had years as a Rockets fan. We lost 20, or we only won 22 games or less for 3 years straight. That
After
hurt.
the Harden deal?
After the Harden deal. But then we built it all back up. We're looking nice. We feel good.
Yeah. So I guess that's our message to teams. Tear it down.
Tear it down and there's some value from building from the middle when you're a team like the Kings who's had tear down years for 17 years that didn't work. But in general, tearing it down is the best way. Here's my theology. I have theology here. Yeah,
NBA
theology. The best way to get to heaven is to go to hell. This is theology. Hear me out.
Okay.
So like the middle is purgatory, but you're not getting from purgatory to heaven very easily. But if you go all the way down to hell, you can get to heaven easier.
All right.
NBA theology.
NBA theology. I love it. Yeah. Bulls, take notes.
Yeah.
Raptors, take notes.
Lakers,
Suns,
don't take notes.
Suns, take notes.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Tear it
teams.
down.
Hawks, take notes.
No.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold, Hawks. Hold.
We'll have to talk about the Hawks
I
later.
like the Hawks.
But yeah, I think that's good. Thank you guys for listening through all the technical
Peace.
difficulties. It was not, it was not great at the beginning.
Yeah.
We lost Samuel to wherever he's at, but we appreciate you
Purgatory.
guys. Yeah. He's in worse than purgatory with Dončić being traded. I don't know even where he's at. He's somewhere.
Somewhere.
See you guys later.
Adios.